My name is Corinna Courtoreille. I'm originally from McLeod Lake Indian Band, and I live in Fort St. James, BC. I work with Nak'azdi Whut'en, and I run their childcare center for them. This funding has impacted us in a good way because we stayed open through the pandemic, the 2 years. So with all the extra monies for my staff and for the children, buying new equipment, the ability to teach the language and the culture and to have the supplies for it is amazing, and it has worked great for us. The funding for our families and children has brought us together, but in the past 2 years we have used the Hi Mama app because we couldn't have our parents come into the building for the safety of my staff and children. So we did a lot of online stuff, telephone, and meeting them at the door and working with them that way. But for the children, they're like sponges. Whatever we teach them at the center, like one of my staff did bannock making, and the kids brought them home to cook with their parents because they were in a baggie, a Ziploc bag, and they were already made. All they had to do was bake them. And they went home and taught their parents how to bake bannock. And the kids were really insistent on how to make it the way the teacher taught them. And a lot of the parents have noticed that the kids bring home the language and the teachings, and they're teaching their parents. So I'm not really sure how to say it, but it's benefited us to learn the language because we have a language teacher now that comes in and teaches us and is teaching us the proper way to speak. And all of my staff are taking the course, and we do it 2 hours a week, Monday to Thursday. And we teach it to the kids. Our biggest teacher is Darlene Prince. She's been there forever. She's been there for 21 years. And she is really a great teacher to the kids, and all my staff are learning the same and learning from her. So that has benefited us and our families. Okay, one of our biggest success story is our yard. It was very small when I started there. There was maybe one small playground there, and from the funding from IELCC, we fixed that up, and plus we were able to expand into a larger yard. And it has benefited our kids because they have more area to play in, which is nice. So that is our biggest success story, is the freedom of our children to run and play. My biggest barrier right now, our biggest barrier is transportation. We really need a bus and a truck so that we can take our kids out on the land. We can take them on field trips. We're missing out on a lot because we can go down to the beach with them if we had our own vehicle, our own bus. But I found out yesterday that I may overcome that by working with Jordan's principal. So that could turn into a success story and not a burden.